This weekend, Abdullah Mason takes on Sam Noakes for the WBO vacant lightweight title on possibly the biggest card ever. We have David Benavidez versus Anthony Yard, David Haney versus Brian Norman Jr., Ben Rodriguez versus Martinez. It's a very stacked card. And one of the first championship fights, or I think the first championship fight on that card, is Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes. We're going to be breaking down that fight today. And every day for the rest of the week is what I'm planning on doing is breaking down the rest of the fights, the next three fights on those cards, on the championship fights. I'm gonna give each of them their own video because I think they do deserve their own video because it's crazy fights. So first we're gonna get in with Abdullah Mason for Sam Noakes. Now, I was watching tape on Sam Noakes today, and I was looking at him, and I was like, looks very stiff, heavy-handed, but head was on the line a lot. And I was kind of looking, I was like, I think Abdullah Mason's gonna whoop this dude. You know, Abdullah Mason, very um mobile fighter, very his combinations are fluid, good power, just I mean, all around great fighter. Sam Noakes kind of looks a little bit straight up and down to me. Not a lot of layers to his game. So at first I was like, damn, how am I gonna make the video long? Like I don't know what else to really say about that fight. Like I was like, I got Abdullah. But then I heard somebody say that Sam Noakes kind of looks like a Arthur Beterbiev, and we all know how good that guy is. So I was looking at it and I was like, oh damn. When I looked at it from that point of view, I watched it again. I watched the tape on him again, and then I remember the fight Abdullah Mason had where he got dropped twice, and I looked at that dude, how that dude fought, and I was like, oh damn, bro, this fight is more dangerous than I initially thought. When it first got announced, I'd seen Sam Noakes fight I think once or twice before. I saw him fight on the Kakashi and Wood prelims. He was I think it was like the last prelim or something like that. I seen him fight on there, and I seen him fight on another UK card. And I didn't really think much of him. Like I was like, yeah, he's a good prospect. You know, hits hard, but he wasn't fighting anybody notable to any level at all. So you know, as you do when you're coming up. So I didn't really. I was like, I got to see more from him. You know. But now he's in a title fight with Abdullah Mason, who's a big American prospect. So now it's like really gotta look at this dude, and bro, this dude has potential to be a problem because his hands are heavy, and he's coming to kill. Now, I do stand on what I initially thought. I do think Abdullah Mason's gonna win. When I first looked at tape, I thought Abdullah was gonna make it look easy. I was looking at it and I was like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Abdullah just goes out there and really puts on a great performance. But the more I look at it, man, this could be a fight. I could see Abdullah getting dropped. But we have seen Abdullah get dropped and get up and win the fight. So we know he has that ability, that he has that heart and that courage. And I think that's what makes the fight even more interesting because for Sam Noakes, I don't really see him outpointing Abdullah Mason, but I could see him hurting him and maybe changing the trajectory of the fight, right? Especially if Abdullah Mason was a prospect who we've never seen him in any situation face no adversity, it would be make it even more. I'd probably have Sam Noakes. I'm not gonna lie, but the fact that I've seen Abdullah get dropped and I've seen him get up and fight better, it just gives me more confidence that Abdullah Mason will win. Now, I don't want to. I know I'm American, so I don't want to be biased and just go for the American guys. So I'm really looking at the way Sam Noakes could win, right? Now, Abdullah is vulnerable to a left hook. Sam Noakes good left hook. Good short left hook, like the same one that Abdullah Mason was dropped with. So it's the openings are definitely there. This is also assuming Abdullah hasn't cleaned that up, which I assume he has. I mean, he has a great team behind him, so I assume he has cleaned up those holes. But I mean, if he hasn't, man, we can get a upset. You get an upset here because I'm pretty sure Abdullah Mason's the favorite. Now, whether that's skill or just because of his name and the value that his name holds in American culture, that's up for debate. But I do think Abdullah is a fantastic fighter. Now, the way I see Abdullah winning this fight I think for him to win this fight, he's gonna have to show all elements of his game. I think he's gonna have to show the inside work, the mid range, the outside work. I think he's gonna have to show his jab, his skills, his footwork, his ability to evade punches, his defense. His defense is gonna be very important in this fight because unless he goes out there and blasts Sam Noakes out the water and doesn't give him a chance, I think Sam Noakes is gonna find those opportunities to land his shots, to get in range, and I think how Abdullah handles that is gonna be a big tell on not only this fight, but I mean him as a fighter as a whole. So far he's looked brilliant in his career. When he got dropped, a lot of people were doubting him, but when he got dropped, the way he responded, it just made me like him more, made me believe in him more. So I think if Abdullah goes out there, if he gets dropped, gets up and win, that still be great. But if he goes out there and makes Sam Noakes look like an amateur, he doesn't give him those opportunities, doesn't give him a chance to capitalize on what he does best, which is put the pressure on you and put the hard shots on you and put you down and break you. If he takes that away from him, we're looking at a really special guy here. I mean, I think this is a career-defining fight. It's his first title fight. And, man, it would just say a lot. Now, for Sam Noakes, if Sam Noakes goes in there and gets Abdullah Mason, who I don't care if Abdullah Mason gets knocked to the bottom rope. That dude is good. He's a good fighter. Has a lot of layers to his game. If he can go in there and put work on Abdullah Mason, potentially stop him, then I mean it just goes to show not only how good he is, but I think he would have a name in kind of American boxing culture because UK fighters aren't that recognized in American boxing culture. But if you go and you stop someone like Abdullah Mason, who's very known in the boxing community, specifically by Americans, then now you have a name in America. Now it makes you that much bigger. Now you hold that WBO title and you could leverage it in many different ways. So a very interesting fight. Career-defining fight for both fighters. A lot on the line for both fighters. Whoever wins this fight, I mean, they get propelled to that next level. If Abdullah Mason wins, you're looking at fights with a potential title fight with Floyd Schofield. Maybe that's a unification if Tank vacates and then Floyd fights for the vacant belt against somebody and wins. You're looking at a potential unification with Floyd Schofield. You know, they have the history with with that sparring and everything that they were going back and forth, whatever. But really, his father was going back and forth because Floyd Senior B, but his father was going back and forth, stuff like that. So that's an interesting matchup. We could see unifications with Andy Cruz and Muratalla are fighting for the IBF in January. So, I mean, he could fight the winner of that for unification. We could see him. I don't think Shakur's fighting Tio, so Shakur's kind of out of it. And so, I mean, who else is there for him? I know him and Keyshawn Davis are going back and forth, but I think Keyshawn's moving up to 140 because he missed weight really bad in his last fight. So, but still, I mean, there's a lot of options for him. There's a lot of fights to be made. If he wins, especially in spectacular fashion, he goes straight to the next level. There's no more prospects. There's no more fights that you're supposed to win. We get straight to it. Once you become a champion, you get straight to it. Same for Sam Noakes. He becomes a champion, get straight to it. So let me know what you guys think. Very interesting, man. I think if Abdul's on his game, I think if he cleaned up the things that he needs to clean up defensively, because he's great offensively, but if he picks up the things that, if he picks up his defensive lapses, if he cleans those things up in camp and training, I think he could put out a spectacular performance. I think Sam Noakes, him being a little stiff, walking straight forward, he walks forward with his head straight on the line. Abdullah Mason has a 74-inch reach. I could see him putting those jabs and straight left hands to work, busting up Sam Noakes' face, potentially dropping him, hurting him, stopping him. So I think if he does win, it'll be in a great fashion, just based off his abilities and what he possesses physically. So very excited for this fight. I will be breaking down the Bam Rodriguez versus Martinez fight. Probably do that tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Thursday, we'll break down Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. Friday, break down David Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. And then Saturday, we have the fights. Do not forget, the fight card is in Riyadh. So I think the fights are going to be a little bit earlier in the day, which I have to double check that. They might have, because I know for Canelo they had Canelo fight in the morning, so that Americans could have it on like prime time when Americans usually watch fights at nighttime. And I'm pretty sure I heard in the interview that David Benavidez is gonna be fighting at 5, 6 in the morning, Riyadh time. So I'm gonna have to search up the time difference on that. But this fight might be at night. I'll search it up. I'll let y'all know in the next video. But you can find it on the Zone. It is pay-per-view $60 if you get the Zone Ultimate plan. It's only $45 a month, so you get that pay-per-view $15 cheaper, and you get all pay-per-views all on the Zone for only $45 a month. So it's pretty worth it if you ask me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and see you in the next one.